in there more often. All right. Hey guys, welcome back to Melissa's Cricket Creation. Today we're going to be doing a crafting combo. Well, I'll be crafting. I'm going to be creating. I'm going to be creating a bow holder for my daughter, and you can find these easily at Walmart. So this is just a letter that you can find, and this is just ribbon. And you'll need a hot glue gun and scissors. We have a special guest today. Let me set it up. I'm sorry. So today, as you see from the title, we're going to be talking about the unfortunate situation that happened in Lubbock, Texas, a while back. Well, I'm recently finding out about it, but it happened a while back. And we're going to talk about the role of fathers, or not necessarily the role of fathers. We're going to be talking about the situation and whether or not we feel that situation brings light to a bigger issue, or the role of fathers and how fathers are seen in the court system, and is there a parent alienation problem, and all that great stuff. So that's why I have my special guest with us today, and he runs a Instagram page called Fathers Are Important, and that's what we're here to find out. Are they? No, I'm joking. Of course they are. But go ahead and introduce yourself and let us know about your platform.
My name is Arcadio Santana, and I'm from Long Island, New York, and I'm the owner and founder of Fathers Are Important. And Melissa, I like the little side jab, by the way.
I think, as me and my friends, because I've talked about this, we always laugh because we know fathers are important. Do fathers know that fathers are important? So tell me, what is so what was your motivation? Let's start there before we get to the case. What was your motivation to start your page? Fathers Are Important. What was your driver?
My motivation and my drive was me experiencing parental alienation and dealing with it in many different ways. And see, I have a cousin that had 4 kids, and he's been getting alienated from his kids. He'll see them here and there, and that's it. But I never knew the drastic effect, the effects that parental alienation will cause on kids, and I didn't know that it could trickle all the way down to not just the father not seeing the kid, but the entire family. Because I haven't seen my little cousins as well in a while because of parental alienation. So as time went on, I had a child, my first son, who's going to be 3 next month, and there's been a lot of things that I've been alienated out of the picture for. So by me dealing with parental alienation and paying attention to other people on different platforms, seeing what they're going through, I sat back and said to myself, this is what I want to do. And that's why Fathers Are Important is created today.
Okay, all right. So when you say parental alienation, of course I know what alienation means, but as far as for fathers, are you saying that you're being kept away from your child, or you feel like you've been kept from important moments? Excuse me, my voice going out. Or are you saying you've been kept away from certain moments in your child's life that you feel like you should be a part of?
Certain moments and more time, because I do get to see my son court order, but family court never granted me access the access that I wish I could have with him. Now, the time that is spent with your child supersedes anything. We all know that and we all get that. But at the same time, how much time do I have? And I don't have as much time with my son that I wish I could have. So being that my son's mother know that I don't have as much time with him, she takes advantage of the court order and allows certain things like that to happen.
Okay. Okay. All right. Well, we're going to get more detail once we're gonna connect it with the case that we're talking about, and we'll go more in detail about parent alienation, because I think you feel like this case that happened in Lubbock maybe it was like example of parent alienation. So let's pull up. We're not gonna play the video, but we're just gonna read like the gist of what happened, and we're gonna introduce the people who were a part of it, and we're gonna break it down and give our opinions and what we feel about it, and how we feel like mothers and fathers that have had kids together and are not in the same household, maybe how we can bridge the gap if that's possible to, have healthy co-parents and relationships. Of course, we're not going to of course, we're not going to solve the world's problems here today, but we'll talk about it and see what happens. So let me share my screen real quick. My voice will not come back. It's like ridiculous. Like my voice has been gone for a good month, 2 months now, and it hasn't been the quality of voice that I had before I got sick. And like you don't appreciate stuff until you lose it. Okay, so it says a lovely Texas man was shot and killed while arguing with his ex-wife over their child custody arrangement. And it was all caught on cell phone video. Chad Reed was killed during a confrontation with a man reportedly identified as Cal Caruth. The incident unfolds on November 5th, so okay, that's not that long ago, according to attorney Matthew L. Harris, who is representing the victim's widow, Jennifer Reed. Jennifer has filed a petition seeking to take custody of Chad Reed's children from their mother. See that okay, whatever. And she has also filed a suit against Cal Ruth and I don't know Victorin Developmental LLC for her husband's shooting death, according to KCBD. She is seeking $50 million in wrongful death lawsuit. Okay, so the breakdown, which I know a lot of you guys have already seen it. Like I said, I can't play it because they'll just yellow mark my video, maybe flag. So unfortunately, because YouTube is so censored, I can't play the video. But let's see. Can we get some pictures? So I'm gonna enlarge this so that you can see who the people are. So Chad is the victim, as in he's the person that died. So Chad is the father of the young man, the boy that he's trying to come pick up. And Chad used to be married to Cal's girlfriend. So Chad shows up. So what was clarified when I watched the live stream, I didn't watch it all, but what was clarified in the live stream is it was not Chad's ex-wife's home. So she was at work. And so to me that makes things make more sense to me. It makes more sense the reason why it escalated like it did. Because how I take it is Chad was upset, right? He was upset because he couldn't get his son. And so he shows up at, I don't know the ex-wife's name. He shows up at the ex-wife's job and he's saying, hey, I want my son. You said you didn't hear her say 6 o'clock, but she did. She said, he's not here because she was at work. And she was like, I get off at 6 or whatever, come back at 6. And he's like, no, the court order said 3:15. Like you said, then she's like, I just wanted to spend some time with him. So, he's like, where is he? I'm about to go to your mom's house. And she's like, he's not here. And so that's when the Cal guy, well, according to her, they were already standing outside, but we don't know why, because they're at work. So it's a number of reasons why they could have been standing outside. But then the Cal guy, at least he enters. And then the Chad and the Cal guy, which Cal is his ex-wife boyfriend, I guess, right? They began to engage with each other and fuss and fight. He told him to leave. He didn't leave, right? So then he goes back in. He gets his gun. Chad makes the word, you're going to have to use that thing on me today. And he shoots. They say he shoots out. She said we don't see it. I didn't see it. But she says he shot, out somewhere first. I did see him shoot towards his foot. I did see that. And he tells him to leave again. And Chad refuses. And not only does he refuse, at this moment he grabs, I don't know if he grabbed the gun or if he grabbed Kyle, and he spins them around. Of course, they fight for a little while. Spins around and throws them down. When he gets up, when Cal gets up, he shoots him twice and he's dead. And so, which I thought was very weird because it didn't seem like anybody reacted. Even his wife, in like, I know she said she thought maybe it was like a BB gun or something, but I still found it very weird that everybody was just so calm as he was lying there,
Very calm. Very
uh,
calm.
not moving. I think that would have been very frightening for me, but everybody was very calm. So I did find it, weird. And so, what's your assessment of it? I guess this is what I don't understand. I don't understand because you said, oh, all the fathers were so upset when they saw this. I don't see this as a father issue, and this is why. I get what you say. Oh, he's going to pick up his son. Da da da. Yeah, okay. The issue was the lack of control. To me, that was the issue because it was two men that were getting into it, and we can't even guarantee that Kyle stepped in because of the son-ish situation, or more so because it seems like that was his parents' business, and he was yelling outside of a business. And so he was like, leave. This is unemployment. He would say this. This is a place of employment. Leave, leave. And that's why he had. So I don't understand how this can become like, oh, that's a father just trying to see his son. When it's more so he was at her job and her employer, or I don't know if he hired her or whatever, how that works, was saying please leave.
Well, for one thing, if she's at work, why would a firearm be at a place of employment? That's one thing. And for
Okay.
for two,
Mm-hmm.
she had she has I forgot his ex-wife name, but she has a history of alienating him. And listening to listening to the stepdaughter, Kyle, not Kyle, I'm sorry, Chad Reed's stepdaughter talk last night on a Father's Rights podcast. She has been alienating him off and on for years now with his son. There's been times when the court order would say pick up such and such at this exact time, and she would say, "Oh, I want to do this, or I want to do that. Oh, you could come tomorrow, or do this, or do that." And like shorting him from his time. So any father that is seeing their son for less time would get upset in every
Mm-hmm.
way, in every way, shape, or form. So in his situation, I understood why he got upset because he was more so looking at it like you're playing games. And one of the things that he did say was that I'm going to subpoena you to court, and I'm going to subpoena
Yes, it did.
and everyone else because
Mm-hmm.
she was playing games, saying I wanted to see him. When there's a court order for you to be with your son at 3:15, 2 o'clock, 8 o'clock, 6 o'clock, or whatever, then you can be with your son at that time. And
Mm-hmm.
she was obstructing a court order at that time. So
Mm-hmm.
for her to make up her own rules at that time, I don't see why he wouldn't travel anywhere to look for his son.
Okay,
Because
so you traveled there. You traveled there to look for your son. Okay, so, okay, that's fair. You want to go pick up your son, but she says he's not here. And at that point, when you see a man come out with a gun, uh, and on top of that, like, what's the point of getting the court orders if you're not? And he's in Texas, and I guess I'm very familiar with Texas custody agreements because in Texas, and the only reason I know this is because of somebody personal had this issue. In Texas, if a mother is withholding a child from the father, all he has to do, well, I know I'm making it sound like it's simple, but the process is you call the police. And then if the police are called 3 times from her withholding the child, there's a warrant issued for the mother. So my thing this is how I see the whole situation, right? By no means do I
I
feel
can't
like,
hear you.
oh, can you hear me now?
I can't hear you.
You can't. Um,
I can't hear you.
can you hear me now?
Um.
All right. Can you hear me
Okay,
now?
now I can hear you much better.
Okay. So what I was saying is, in the state of Texas, can you hear me?
Much better.
Okay. So in the state of Texas, because he was in the state of Texas, if a parent is withholding a child from the other parent and there's a court order in place, the process that you take is you have to call the police 3 times to make a record of them withholding the kid. After the third time, there can be a warrant issued for the mother. And so, if you go through the paperwork and you do all this stuff to get this stuff in place, and then you don't follow through with it, it's like, what's the point? And so, this is my take. After listening to the stepdaughter, this is my take on what happened. Right. So, I feel like men are very selfish, and the reason why y'all are is because you are y'all are raised to be selfish. You know what I'm saying? Because like, you're supposed to be the head of the household. So you're gonna always go after what's best for you, right? So just even when you say, if I have a court order that says this, that, and this, I deserve to do this. And so I don't think you understand that, I get what you said. Oh, she got all week to see him. But like I know, if I work from 9 to 5 and I got to drive to work and come home, by the time I pick the kid up from daycare, we fixing lunch, they going to bed. So that's not really spending time with your child. And so like when a parent says, oh, I really want to do this with them, you think, well, I got this court order and this is my time. So I might lay my eyes on my child through the week, but I don't really get, not me, I'm just saying, a parent. I don't actually get to engage with my kid through the week because I'm working. Like kids supposed to be in the bed 8:30, no later than 9, right? And if you getting off at 5, if you live in, I don't know if Lubbock is, I don't know, I can't say. But if it's anything like Dallas or even like a little smaller like Tyler, it takes time to get into from, so it takes a while. So by the time you get your kid and get home, it's time to eat, go to bed, and get ready for the next day. So you're not truly spending time through the week. Okay. Number 2, it sounds like to me, because when she said they had multiple kids together and he had the other child and he was coming to get this child, what it sounds like to me personally, if I'm going to alienate you from my children, I'm going to alienate you from my kids, not from one child. What it sounds like to me was she was making excuses because that child didn't want to go. But she didn't want to say such and such don't want to go with you because she know eventually such and such is going to have to go with him. And she doesn't want to cause that type of beef between him and the kid. So she makes excuses of take the other one because they wanted to go see you. So go ahead and go. This one is sick. So I'm gonna let him stay behind. Da da da. Oh, he's not here. I wanted to spend time with him. And she doesn't want to out the kid and say the kid don't want to go with you, And it sounds like that's the type of situation it was. Now, is it right? Is it fair? I'm not the one to give that answer because I wasn't there, but I've been there where you have a small child that cries or that just really doesn't want to go, and you try to bribe them, and you say, "Oh, I'll take you to the store. Just go spend an hour with your daddy." Da, 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 trying to be nice, and then you don't want to tell him like, "Hey, she don't even want to come see you." So what you do, you say, "She doesn't feel well," or no, right now she's gone already. So can you come back later? Can we try this again? Da da da. And she probably told him, and that's probably why the cow guy was worked up before he got there. Such doesn't want to go. Da da da. Whatever the situation was, so he's worked up from the moment when he pulls up because they said they had never had interactions with each other. So like when I saw the situation and when she explained it all, I was like, it sounds like to me the kid didn't want to go. The mother is not saying that because who wants to call out their kid, right? Who wants to say, my baby don't even want to come with you? Because eventually that child might have to come with you. And I don't want you to treat this child bad knowing that they don't want to be around you, And it could have all just been avoided, if he would have just left and called the police. And they talk about the child's mother as if she was so bad, but his own wife didn't advise him to get back in the car when she saw a man with a gun. I was like, she just like, we're recording this. We see you, Kyle. And then when she shoots him, he's like, we know you did it. It's just like everybody. And then she's trying to make things worse by filing for custody of a kid that's not hers. And you heard the words that came out of her mouth after she shot him. He was here to get her son. I mean, his son. So you know how she feels about the child. Why you want custody of this kid? Why you want custody of this kid?
Well, for one thing, rewinding back to respectfully, respectful little debate. For one thing, not all men are selfish. Not all men are selfish. I can't sit back and say men are selfish because if I was to sit back and say men are selfish, then I can also sit back and say women are selfish because there's a lot of women out there that are selfish as well. But looking at the situation, we, huh?
I just believe men are raised to do what's best for them, right? And so, and I feel like women are raised to care and nurture for other people. So when I say selfish, I don't mean it necessarily like every time it's gonna be it's like bad. He's a bad person. Da da da. It's just at the end of the day, if my time starts at 3:50, even though I might not be able to make it every weekend, and I want you to make exceptions for me, but if I have a court order that say my time starts at 3:15, God dog, my kid better be ready at 3:15. But next weekend, hey, I'm not gonna be able to come get them, and there's nothing I can do about it when you don't show up. But you can enforce a 3:15 timeline on me when you ready to show up. But go ahead.
Well, certain men are raised as being selfish, but a real man, a loving husband, is
Mm-hmm.
raised as doing things that benefits the family.
Okay.
That's how I look at things,
Okay.
and I like how you said how the wife sat there not saying things like to the husband. How I also feel is that how for one thing listening on the show, um Kyle, not I'm gonna keep calling him Kyle. I'm sorry.
Chad.
Chad Reed's wife was doing exactly what she was told to do by Chad because there's been many altercations in the past going on between them. And for one thing, with modern technology, with the camera this and camera that and everything, family court wants to see exactly what's going on now since technology is upgrading be day by day, year by year, minute by minute, second after second. So I feel I respect you. I respect your answer. How you said that she sat there and didn't do anything, but I also would like to question at the fact that how the ex-wife sat there and didn't do anything, and she had no remorse whatsoever at the fact that,
She fell down at the end.
hmm,
You didn't see where she like fell down at the end?
I seen that she stepped back like
No,
that.
like at the end, like I think at the end when everybody, I guess, I mean, I've never been around somebody being shot before, so I don't want to say I would have did this, I would have did that, right? Because things are different when you're there in person. But I think maybe initially it was kind of like this shock that everybody, because his own wife didn't react, so maybe everybody was just like in shock. But then I think once they realized like, oh, he's dead, like you can see, go back and look at the video, you can see she kind of like falls down to her knees. I don't think she wanted this to happen. I think she wanted to be protected. I think she wanted him to go. You know what I mean? But
Hmm.
I don't think she wanted him dead. So Sunny
We
Customs
can't necessarily
LLC,
say
I
that. I
went through
mean,
that S. And then she says, going to court in another state 9 times is still lost. Said chances make champions. I definitely understand that. I was speaking in reference to the title of the video. Yeah. I understand.
well, I personally feel.
Welcome.
Hmm?
Oh, she said, salute to you guys, new subscriber. Welcome. But I don't think you welcome. But go ahead. I'm listening.
Well, I personally feel that it does look like a setup
You think
because
so? Ah, this is the second show I've had him on and that we lost him. Hopefully he comes back. But yeah, so when we were talking about the situation, and I don't know your situation, Sonny, but we were talking about the situation in Lubbock, Texas, and the man who got shot because he was trying to come pick up his son. And yesterday, okay, there he is. He's back. Yesterday, his stepdaughter, yeah, set up. Yesterday, his stepdaughter went live and when she went live, I feel like she answered a lot of questions that I had. So number one, they were not at the ex-wife's house; they were at her place of employment. Number two, I feel like Cal. Okay, so Cal, as far as what she was explaining, Cal's family owns the place of employment. So that to me, I understood then why he was so upset when he came outside, because he was like, "You're at our place of employment," yelling, saying, "Give me your son," and the ex-wife was simply saying, "He's not here." I have a private chat. Okay. Said I'm backstage at me. Your device is not showing up. Sorry, trying to get it back in. All right. So the the stepdaughter basically says that, Kyle and Chad, which were two men that were arguing, had never had any interaction with each other beforehand because Kyle was still legally married, and so they weren't out, publicly with their relationship yet. So this was the first time they had seen him or whatever, because they weren't out yet. And so this was his place of employment. I think his parents might own the place. So that's probably why he was so worked up about, you need to go home, right? It probably wasn't even about the fact that he didn't have a kid. And so what I was explaining to him is that what it sounds like to me after hearing the daughter speak, the stepdaughter of the man that passed away, it sounds like to me that the son didn't want to go with the dad, because it doesn't make sense that if she's trying to alienate the son from the father, why would she allow one kid to go and not the other kid? So it sounds like she's saying, hey, she's taking the blame for it, like, hey, he's sick, he can't go. All right, he's not here yet, da da da. It's like she's trying to cover. And like, this is a real conversation that to be had. Like, a lot of people don't understand that just because, see, it's still saying device is not connected, sir. It won't let me add you. But yeah. So it's still a lot of people don't understand that when it comes to these kids, it's not as easy as it's my time to come get them. Like, they're people, they have feelings, and sometimes, like, both mothers and fathers, we can do better because sometimes we're in our feelings, right? But we're gonna have to sit down with these kids and see what they're going through and how they feel, and not just make it about us and our court order, and not get offended when the kid don't want to come with you, because especially if you can't be there every day. Okay. Especially if you can't be there every day. Sorry guys, I kicked my own self out by mistake. Uh, especially if you're not there every day. Different kids react to different situations different ways. So just because you feel like the kids should love me, I'm good to them, I'm nice, da da da. Like, they're real people that have real feelings. They go through real things, and it's not always about us. And we got to realize that we got to do what's best. Like men are always talking about doing what's best for the kids, but do you really want to do what's best for the kids? Because if you really want to do what's best for the kids, you'll understand that it's not about you. It's not about what you want, about when you want to see them, about what that court order says. It's about, still said not. You would need, it says they would need to connect their mic and camera before you can add them. I need him to connect his mic and camera. It's kind of hard out here. All right, so I'm going to resend him the link. All right. So yeah. So yeah, it's just I think both sides. We need to sit down and we need to be adult about this. And like, if you have a child with somebody, whether you like them or not, like maybe we need to. It's not letting me do it. Hmm. I don't know what to do, sir. It's not letting him back on, guys. I don't know what to do. I think I'm gonna have to wrap it up, and then maybe me and him can just go live on Instagram and talk about it because I really don't know what to do because it's not letting him back on. Let's see. There he is. All right, you're back. I didn't know. I was trying to figure out because at first it was saying I can't hear you. Oh, there you go. Oh no, I can't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you now.
Okay.
All right, now okay, go ahead. You were talking before you left, but
I don't even remember the last thing I said.
you know where we were. So you said it could have been a setup. So let's start there.
Trying to remember the last part I said, but yeah, I feel it could have been a setup.
Okay. I mean, I guess we'll never know because
We wouldn't unless it was proven in court. That's the only way we would know.
yeah. So we'll never know. I don't think it was a setup. I think it was more so they were having a man, like, who could be more man contest. I feel like, I definitely feel like, he didn't have to shoot him. And I do
You
feel like
mean
the
like
other
a macho man type thing?
yep. I felt like they both were just yelling at each other, you know, they were in each other's faces, and he probably felt, belittled, or let's say, like a punk when he spun around, threw him down, and he probably was angry and got up and just shot. And do I feel like he deserved to die from that situation? No, but I do feel like in life, we got to do what's best for us. Like you can't win everything through a screaming match, through a fighting match, especially because people not fighting anymore; they shooting. So it's kind of like, at that point when she said he's not there and you're not getting the kid, leave and call the police and take it through the courts like you said you was gonna do. So I mean, no, we can't go back. I know we can't bring him back, but I feel like his actions took him away from his child forever. You know what I'm saying? And I know you said he told her to do that, and I'm not tripping off the fact that she was recording, right? Because people, it's 2021. This is what people do now. They pull out their phone and record. All I'm saying is, even my husband said, "Record this baby," because she acts up. Da da da. Okay, I'm recording, but when her boyfriend comes out with a gun, hey, it ain't that serious. Come on, let's go. Let's go. We'll just call the police. Let's go. Let's go. And so the idea that, it was just everybody was just so calm about a gun being around. I'm just like, that's just not me. That's just not me. I see a gun, I don't care who got it. Like I said, it could be my dad. If I see a gun, I'm getting out of the way, okay? Because at the end of the day, even if they're not trying to shoot me, you know what I'm saying? They make a mistake, I'm still dead. So it's like, why would I take those type of situations? Why would I take those type of chances? Basically, is what I'm saying. Like, we got to care for ourselves before anything else. So, but as far as her hiding the kid, what I was saying while you were gone is that I feel like on both sides, like there needs to be some type of, depending on some people do a really, really good job of co-parenting, but the people who have issues like this, and are, stuck, then, they need to have some type of communication, because the kid, like we always say, the kid is the most important, right? So it's not about my time or your time and da da da, what I want, what you want, da da da. It's about what does the kid want, right? And so I do think that a dad has the right to be in their child's life, but I think sometimes, because every kid is different, there needs to be mediation where we can sit the kid down and gradually, maybe like, hey, have him come over and visit for a little while before he just has to go and spend the night, or because everybody's different. They might feel uncomfortable, and it might not be
Hmm.
that they don't want to be around, the father. It might just be they don't feel comfortable, or they just used to
Yeah,
being at home, or I'm babied here, and that dad's mean, so I don't want to go. And these are things that just have to be talked about and slowly transition over. And that's why it's crazy that more people can't effectively co-parent, because you can't raise them one way in my house and one way at your house. That's how we have all these conflicts. But
yeah,
agrees on both sides, with that. But I just think,
absolutely.
um, I just think that I just think we got a long way to go, because everybody want to be right. And I think when it comes with the mothers, and you won't say I'm making excuses, but at the end of the day, when a lot of times when you're the custodial parent or the full time parent, and you're the one that's making the sacrifices, finding the jobs that work around the kids' schedule, or up early in the morning, go to bed late at night when they're sick, or you're the person that got to pay for the what is it they have, everything they have at school, da da da. You can be kind of resentful towards the other parent, and it makes you
Hmm.
not be effective. And when you ask someone to meet certain expectations and they can't, then it's like when they want you to meet expectations, you can go out of your way to make it harder for that person, because they're not being full time where they need to be. And I will say, for the most part, and there's always going to be something. It's always going to be exceptions to what I'm about to say. Of course, we all know somebody that don't meet it, but for the most part, not men who say I'm doing the best I can, but like people who show up. Like if I call you and I say, "Hey, such is sick. I'm about to go to the hospital," and you don't say, "Okay, keep me updated. What's going on?" You say, "No, I'm on my way." You know what I'm saying? Or this person has this at school, or I'm gonna pick them up. You drop them off. Da da da. Like those people that give you that full, like commitment, trying to help. You know, I feel like most women, they work with those people. The people you give a hard time is the person, like I just said, if I call, and I know people say, "Well, I'm doing better than the average person," but I don't judge people based off the bottom. You know what I'm saying? Like, be the other parent. Don't be better than some deadbeat out there. Like, because I think most men aren't 100% like not in their kids' life. I just think that most of them do the minimum, and they want to be applauded for doing the minimum. And so it's like, someone say, well, if you don't have to make the sacrifices like I have to make the sacrifices, then I don't have to bend over backwards when you ask me to. Because when I
Yeah.
needed you to be at the hospital, you said, "Ah, man, he's gone. I have to do this again." But yeah, so let me know what you guys think about the situation. Do you feel like Chad was in the wrong? Chad is the guy that lost his life. Or do you feel like the Kyle guy was in the wrong? I mean, I think Kyle was wrong for shooting him, but okay.
I don't know what's going on. I'm so sorry.
They don't want this live to be great. What we might have to do is we might have to just go to Instagram, and then I'll just have to download it and upload it to YouTube. Because it keeps dropping you. So it kind of breaks the conversation. Like you'll be about to say something, then it drops you, and then we have to bring you back. But yeah, so what were you gonna say? Do you remember?
From before, no, no, no.
Okay, okay, okay. But what are your just go ahead and just tell me your size of it, and then I think because we kept, I don't know, I feel like we kind of all over the place because we keep dropping and coming back. But just tell me your side of it, and then we're gonna wrap it up because we're nearing an
Well,
hour.
I just feel personally that a lot of it could have been avoided with communication,
Hmm.
and there was poor communication on the mother's part, because if there's a court order in hand for the 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 father to be with the child, why is there no communication? And not for nothing, she has a history, a rap sheet of alienating this child from the father, regardless if the child didn't want to be with the father or not. She should be the one to sit back and say, "Hey, Johnny, let's say his name is Johnny. Hey, Johnny, this is your dad. Let's try and do this. Let's try and do that. This your dad. Spend time with your dad, and all that other stuff." She
Have you
should not
ever
be.
tried to do that to a kid?
Huh?
When a kid is adamant that they don't want to go, you can have those conversations. Hey, why don't you go? You can even try to bribe them. And I don't think people understand like dealing with a crying child or how you feel guilty because you're not there, so you don't know what's going on. And then there's so much going on in the world, and you feel like, well, what if somebody's messing with my child and they don't want to tell me, and they sit here crying, and I'm pushing them off on them. So it's like it's not so dry as, hey, you need to go spend time with your dad. It's like a lot goes into it. And because we're not there and we can't see everything, and I don't feel like he's a person that probably effectively communicates because look how he was screaming. I mean, at the end of the day, it's unless you hurt my child, you know what I'm saying? You're not gonna get me that worked up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like,
I don't necessarily feel that it's not that he didn't want to be the son didn't want to be with him, because listening to the stepdaughter specifically say yesterday that he had an amazing relationship with his son, and he would and the father would do almost anything with any of his kids, because all he ever talked about was his kids, his kids, his kids, and his kids loved being around him. He would talk to his kids on like how we talking right now, like
mhm.
Duo, Google Duo, FaceTime, or whatever platform he was using to talk to his kids on. He would always say, "Hey, Daddy, miss you. Daddy, miss you. Daddy, miss you." Do whatever type of communication he can to have with him. But could I sit back and say that the son didn't want to be with his father? I can't necessarily say that, because from everything that I'm hearing about this guy Chad Reed, it seems as if he was like a that type of father that wanted to go above and beyond just to be with his son.
So you're getting this from his stepdaughter. And so I wouldn't expect her to say anything any less. And so it's like I'm not saying he was a bad dad at all. And then we have to think about the bar for men. And I'm not being rude at all, but I'm just saying like everybody thinks everybody is great as long as they come around. So, but by her saying that, like, we have to know what's her standard of, like, what's her idea of a good dad. And again, you say he talks to him on video chat. If she's trying to alienate him from the father, why would she allow time for the kids to talk to him? You know what I mean? I feel like it was a bigger situation. I feel like maybe we don't know all the parts, and I could be wrong. You could be wrong. It could be a combination of everything, right? I feel like it's
Hmm.
so much this, you know, I can't 100% say either side was wrong because I don't know the before story. I know the short clip. I know what it sounds like to me when the stepdaughter was talking. And I guess I know from being on the other side that, maybe y'all don't see some of the things. Like just because, they smile and laugh with you on the FaceTime doesn't mean when they close it that they don't come and say XYZ to their mothers. They don't come and say, oh no, I don't want to go over there. I could just call. I don't have to go. I don't have to go with him. Da da da. Or I don't want to go. Or
Right.
it might not even been a situation where he didn't want to go because he doesn't even like the daddy. It might be he already had something planned with his friends and he doesn't want to change his schedule every weekend to go with his dad. I mean, as kids get older, things like this start to happen. My niece has no issue with her father or whatever. And when she hit a certain age, she just didn't want to go anymore because her home is her home. But he didn't force her. They just, he just came to my sister's house and all that, blah blah blah. But I'm just saying, like, they're not predictable, and it's easy to say on the other side because you want your visitation, you want this, you want that, you have this paper, but maybe they can't now because he's gone. They all needed to be in therapy and figure out what's the issue, why there might have been a bigger problem, but we won't never know because they chose to handle the way they handled. Hello, are you still there? Oh man, I've lost them again. I don't know. I don't want to make excuses for her or him because I do think it was a senseless death, and I feel like I wish they could have figured out another way because now these kids are going to be without a father. But again, oh man, he's gone. I mean, we all have to be accountable for our own actions, and I think what we can learn from this is walk away. Walk away. If you have the paperwork, just enforce the paperwork. Let the police come do that. don't get into, if you do not have a gun, do not get into battle with somebody with a gun, because 9 times out of 10 it ain't gonna work out in your favor. Okay. I'm gonna try to see if he comes back one last time. Or maybe he just left me. Maybe he tired of this conversation. Let me see. I think maybe he's just tired of the conversation. Maybe he just left. Well, guys, we're gonna wrap this up. I do want to know, what did you think about it? Do you feel like this was a good case of parental alienation? I feel like we don't have enough information to have like a definite answer on that. Like, we don't know all the behind the scenes. All we know is the short clip, and I'm pretty sure it's a mixture of a lot of things that we don't know. And I just hope, I hope and pray for healing on folks, and that we can work together and we can raise these kids without this extra, right? Life is hard enough without us turning against each other. So, unfortunately, he's gone. So, I guess until next time, guys, y'all stay crafted. And this will be a separate video because it wasn't going to dry in time. I thought about that. It won't dry in time for the video. But basically, all you do is you paint this, you cut this out, and then you're going to hot glue it strings. But I'm going to do it as a separate video so you guys can see it. All right, guys, till next time. Have a great day.